is the idea of putting a cap on the number of international students.
So good morning guys, welcome back. So recently a news has come out which states that Canada is now planning to put a cap or limit on the number of international students that are invited in the country. This limit is not being put on a specific country or a region. Rather, this limit is said to be put on the colleges and universities directly, which would give them a limited number of seats to work with as per reports. Now you may ask, why is the government doing so? Or what is forcing the government to take these steps? And the simple answer to this is the mismanagement in the current policies, which is putting pressure on the current students and new immigrants to directly tackle the issues of increasing living costs, increasing grocery costs, etc. Thus forcing a lot of international students to go back to their home countries. According to a report, approximately 70% of international students coming to Canada plan to stay here and work here after their graduation is completed, and around 60% of students plan to stay here permanently by applying for a permanent residency, which was perfectly fine because few years back every expense that an international student or immigrants had was affordable, or at least we can say manageable. But from the past couple of years, things have taken a slight U-turn. Due to increasing living costs, international students are now deciding to move to different provinces, and this idea did not really exist 2 to 3 years back, and there were very few students doing so. However, today, if you are having a conversation with someone who wants to permanently settle in Canada, their first option after they graduate is to move to a different province and get a PNP. And this change in thinking has raised a lot of problems for the government. And this is the reason why we are seeing a rise in the number of students going back to their home countries. Because living in Canada isn't as simple as they thought it was. And if you think only international students are facing this issue, then you are wrong. Immigrants who have now become permanent residents in Canada are also facing a lot of issues. Since a lot of immigrants who got themselves a house earlier had interest rates of 1% to 2%, but today the interest rates have gone up to a whooping 10% to 12%. Imagine that a house that you got on mortgage for 25 years at 1% interest rate would cost you $2,000 to $2,500 each month, but due to increased interest rates, it can cost you $4,000 to $4,500 each month. And immigrants are trying their level best to avoid this deadlock by increasing the number of years in their mortgage in the hope to compensate with the increased interest rates. And the ones who are not able to do so, unfortunately, have to sell their dream home because it's just not practically possible for them to afford it. And not only this, recession makes the situation even more worse, with people losing their jobs, indeed increasing the unemployment level in the country. Even my field, cybersecurity, is now demanding 3 to 5 years of experience for entry-level positions. How is it possible for a new graduate to get that many years of experience? All these factors, combined with the government still inviting over 4 lakh immigrants each year, has caused these little issues to become so big. Now I can surely say that the government had this idea to put a cap on international students before as well. However, after the recent news of Northern College that came out escalated this idea, since some colleges now started to exploit this by inviting hundreds of students more than their available capacity, and later on withdrawing their offer letters. And at the end, everyone blamed the government for these policies. So it was expected that the government would take some form of action on this. And recently they brought out this idea of putting a cap on the number of international students. Now does this mean that the number of rejections for Canada would increase? Now if this policy comes into place, then it would directly impact the number of rejections, and we will see a higher rejection rate for Canada. Now in order to come to Canada, you would need an even stronger profile. So let me know what you think about this decision in the comment section below, and are you in favor or in opposition to this rule? And as always, for all such latest news and informative videos about Canada and my life in general, feel free to subscribe to my channel as well. And don't forget to share this video with your friends who you think need to know this news. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.